All right, how's everybody doing? I am G, the seeker of truth. This is Spiritual Stake, and yes, your spirit is at stake. We have been going along through our Bible breakdown, our Bible study. We are currently in Genesis chapter 39. A quick overview of 38. We talking about Tamar, or Tamar, however you want to say her name. We talking about Tamar, Judah's daughter-in-law, who was promised a man, Onan, but Onan, he was in love with someone else. No, not Onan, Shelah, because she was married first to and was an evil man in the eye of the Most High, so the Most High slew him. And so after was slew by the Most High, Judah sent Onan in there. He was like, you go in and you be with your brother's wife, you raise up the seed unto your brother's name. But Onan was laying with her and putting his seed on the ground. Say that displeased the Lord. So he slew him. The only brother left was Shelah, and Shelah was too young. So Judah told Tamar, when Shelah get of age, I'm going to bring Shelah to you, and Shelah's going to be your husband. Well, when Shelah got of age, he was interested in a woman named Timnah. So when Tamar had seen Shelah was going after Timnah, she went and covered herself, and Judah approached her, and he said she thought she was a harlot, and it specified that the only reason that he thought that she was a harlot was because she wore a mask covering her face. There's some points there. There's something to be had in that with the veiling. But Tamar, she knew that there was Judah. She knew that there was her father-in-law, and yet and still, she was like, Judah say, let me come in and be with you. She say, well, I'm going to let you come in. You're going to have to give me something. He said, I'm going to give you a goat. She say, well, you can give me a goat later, but you got to give me something right now. Give me these jewels. Let me get these signets out for you. So he gave her the jewelry that he had on. He gave her the signets, went in, laid with him, and she got pregnant. Well, 3 months after the fact, Judah had got word that Tamar had played the role of a harlot and now was pregnant with a child out of whoredom, according to scripture, not my words. Judah said, bring her forth before me, let her be burnt. Tamar come forth, they finna burn her. She say, by the man's items as these is the father of this child. And they was Judah. So Judah like, oh, well, yeah, I did not honor my word. I didn't honor my word. I told her I was going to give her my son Shelah. I did not give her my son Shelah. So who is right here and who is wrong? But that was 38. That was just a quick overview of 38. It was wild because Tamar wild. Tamar, however you want to say her name, she wild. But anyway, we're going into chapter 39. You know how we do. If you're going to fire up, go on to fire up. Your Bible should already be open. You should already see chapter 39 in your face. And with no further ado, let's do what we do. And Joseph was brought down to Egypt, and Potiphar, an officer of Pharaoh, captain of the guard, an Egyptian, bought him of the hands of the Ishmaelites, which had brought him down thither. And the Lord was with Joseph, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian. And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. And it came to pass, from the time that he had made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that the Lord blessed the Egyptian's house for Joseph's sake. And the blessing of the Lord was upon all that he had in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not all he had, save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master's wife is not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath to my hand. There is none greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? So, remember I was saying back in 38 how the story of Timnar, it did not really fit in right there, because the last thing that we read in 37 was how the brothers had sold off Joseph to the Egyptians. And then in 38, it jumped into Tamar and her whole little prostitution, pregnancy, almost finna get burnt thing. And so now we jumping back into 39. If a person wasn't just going in line, you would forget how we even got with Joseph to the Ishmaelites. But that's why we're here in Spiritual State. We keeping everything lined up. So this is Joseph, the brother that the youngest brother that the brothers sold off to the Ishmaelites because they did not like him, because the father, which was Jacob, Israel, favored him and gave him a coat of many colors. So first they threw him in the pit. They were gonna kill him. Then they said, let's just throw him in the pit. And then they seen the Ishmaelites coming through, and they said, we'll just sell him out. We might as well get some money for him. Well, they sold him off. Well, now Joseph, is in the land of the Egyptians. He's over here with the Pharaoh, which is Potiphar, and he has been blessed by the Most High to where everything that he do in the house is being blessed. Everything his hand touches is being blessed, to the point that the land and everything that the Pharaoh has is being abundant, is being increased, is being doubled and being tripled. So Joseph out here, he the overseer of everything. Now keep in mind, he came as a slave. But what another person got out for your bad, God can take that and turn it to something, the greatest thing that ever happened to you. Because they had evil intentions. And a person would say, well, why would God let that happen to Joseph? Joseph didn't do nothing but be loved by the Father. But you got to go through to get through. And he had to go through that to get to what God was trying to give him to. Now he an overseer. He ain't got to worry about all these brothers around him that's hating on him for no reason. But here go the problem. The wife see him, and she shoot her shot. Joseph said, this man done gave me everything in this house. I'm the overseer of everything. He don't know nothing that go on over here. Only thing that he knows is when he hungry, his food is on his plate. Why would I disgrace myself? First, why would I dishonor this man? Secondly, and third, why would I do that to God, who been blessing me? Or you can rearrange it and put in however order you want to if you feel like my order wasn't politically correct. But in the midst of your blessings, temptations will come, right? The way you respond to these temptations is going to dictate how far you go, how much of your blessing you actually get, because it says it within his hands to bless you abundantly, to where it can flow out your cup and flow over into the next person's cup. But if you give in to that first line of temptation, you'll never know how far your blessing could have went. Excuse me. 10. And it came to pass, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her, to lie by her, or to be with her. And it came to pass about this time that Joseph went into the house to do his business, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. And it came to pass, when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he has brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass, when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. Ain't that battle? Hey. See that? The woman lied on the man because he did not give in to her advances. And he had to flee. She steady coming on to him. He steady, gone. Now, should he have gone to Potiphar? I don't know. He might have got his head chopped off going there making accusations like that back in those times. But in that situation, he responded the best way he knew how. by avoiding her at all costs. And to this day right here, where ain't no men left. Ain't nobody in the house except him and her. And she walk up on him and snatch him to her. Like, yeah, you gonna give me that. Say Joseph shot up out of there. And her feeling dejected, rejected, had to lie. Didn't have to, chose to. Because you're not finna embarrass me. I'm the Pharaoh's wife. I'm somebody. You're not gonna embarrass me. If I say I want it, you're gonna give it to me. And if you ain't gonna give it to me, you're gonna wish you had. And here go prime example. 16. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, After this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into the prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in the prison. But the Lord was with Joseph, and showed him mercy, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. Now let me tell you something. That's another example right there of how a person can lie on you, and you know you innocent, and you still getting convicted. You still having to face the consequences of actions that you didn't even do. The Most High will still be with you. So they threw Joseph in prison, and he got the favor of one of the prison keepers. Never look at the situation in the worst way possible. Always look at the situation and find God in the situation. Because if you look and try to find God in the situation, you're going to find him, you're going to understand. And that's when that peace that surpasses all understanding really start coming into play. 22. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him, and that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper. That is the end of chapter 39. The message: don't give up. I know it get hard. The times is hard. And the more you try to grow, the more people around you will do their best to tear you down. Try to keep you where you at. Because the saddest truth is that those around you will much rather keep you where they at than to see you elevate past them. But keep it up. Keep fighting. Keep pushing. And knowing that if you on this path of righteousness, that you on this spiritual growth, you on this spiritual journey, that no matter whichever circumstance you ever find yourself in, that the Most High will always be there with you. So you are never alone. Take it from a person that know on this journey you feel so alone until you come into that understanding that you are never alone. Keep fighting. Keep pushing. I'm G, the Seeker of Truth. This is Spiritual State. Till next time, y'all stay elevated.